Alright, folks, welcome back from a quick break. We have Tenerim versus qkieu, Lion versus Scorpion. This will be the last league match we have, and then I actually have a special like show match afterwards between Travis and Widwin. We actually did a draft a while ago, and those two have finally found time to play their game, so I'm going to stream their draft match. And I'll have deck lists and stuff that I'll post. It's super, super fun. And so taking a look at the deck list here, we have Tenerim's list, which probably wins an award for like most inventive or creative or wacky list. We have 45 conflict cards, so making maximum use of deck space. He's got 20 attachments, so he's Unicorn Splash, 3 favorite mounts, 2 spyglasses, 1 Talisman of the Sun, 1 Wayfinder, 3 Gaijin customs make up the splash. Gaijin Customs is actually really sick in this deck, because he's playing 3 copies of Guard Duty, 2 copies of Finger of Jade, 3 copies of Sashimono, Big Sash, 3 copies, get him in there. And so I am really interested. We do see him playing Policy Debate, which not every Lion deck is playing. Taking a look at his Dynasty side, we see that he's made made his sacrifices for that. We see 3 copies of Akoma EG. We see Mia Satoshi. Both characters are strong enough to policy debate. Akoma EG is actually a monster when she's honored. An absolute monster.
I back in core, I actually really did like the combination of Sashimono and Spyglass before it kind of turned out that Sashimono wasn't worth it. I think it is risky in an environment right now that is so filled with calling in favors to be running so many Sashimono, but he's made it work for him so far, and it definitely seems like the deck just wants to overload on attachments to try and get through the attachment control. And I have to assume that in this matchup, he'll be leaning on policy debate first before diverting any resources to Sashimono. And of course, Sashimono just isn't a very super good steal for this Scorpion deck. It doesn't have a lot of big military targets that are sticking around on board unless you get out. Like it is sick on the unassuming Yojimbo.
Yeah. So we see one other thing we see from this Lion deck is no copies of Staging Ground, because he's going more of a big Lion style. We don't see the need for Staging Ground. He's opted for Favorable Ground, which is a really sweet card when it comes with Guard Duty and Policy Debate. You can get your big political bodies in there. We see 2 copies of Censure and 2 copies of Finger of Jade, both of which are going to be incredibly important in this matchup, I feel, along with the copies of Policy Debate and Ready for Battle.
I think Benoa is a little greedy. Like 3 copies of Benoa is a little greedy
with such a low Bushi count. Yeah, I think 3 Bayona is stretching it.
I like the cheeky Mia Mystic in the Dynasty. So like a neat thing that you can do is find it with Satoshi, obviously, and then it gets, you can discard it. But one Maya Mystic paired with your Spirit Callers does allow for some recursive attachment removal. So when you are playing Satoshi and Lion, I actually do think it's correct to have 1 copy of Maya Mystic in the Dynasty side.
Yeah, you just blow up attachments over and over again. And because he's not playing Dragon Splash, he does need that attachment control. So taking a look at the Scorpion list here, it looks very familiar. I'm pretty sure this is your exact 80. Oh no, he has an I Can Swim in here that you don't have. Oh, I remember. He has +1 I Can Swim, and he's playing Bonsai and no Cloud the Mines. And so it's -1 conflict character, -1 conflict character, -2 Cloud the Mind, +1 I Can Swim, +3 Bonsai. Where's the last difference?
Also on the Dynasty side, so there's no Sinister Soshis.
Oh, you have Soshis in yours?
Soshis, he's got Imperial Palace and Storehouse.
Oh, because you're playing Cloud the Mind and he's not, right? So
afford to drop the Shigenja bodies.
Yeah. All right.
Owari will do work here. And could be a way to get around like the attachment heavy. He's not trying to like blow them all up. He'll just like mono the board. So mono Owari could actually be beneficial here in this matchup.
So the players are kind of trolling with this password here. It's a pretty good one in my opinion. So let me just shift this to you real quick.
Okay.
so I'm gonna let them know we're ready. And this match should be awesome. Flying Zergling, Shiba Inu broke with Evil Grandma giving +8 stats, and he had a First Aim and a Katana, so he broke on military at entrenched position.
And the Twitch stream has already pinpointed a difference in the conflict deck. So he
He's
is
not
on
playing Meek Informant.
Yeah, he's not playing any Meek Informants, which, God, I mean, they're not wrong. I love the shit out of that card.
Yeah, that card's sick. I like that card a lot. No, Fancy Zergling. We have Fancy Zergling and Flying Zergling. Fancy Zergling, Gaijin Customs just needs a unicorn card, not a unicorn character. So Favored Mount, Spyglass, and Talisman all can trigger, you can use Gaijin Customs then.
Deck, because just on paper, it seems a mistake to value the Favored Mount over the Wayfinders. But you know, it definitely could go into his play style. So I'm very interested to see.
He's comboing with like guard duty and stuff, right? Where you can declare an attack, and then on defense you can move a guy in and get him honored. Like it's just combos with, and it combos with Spyglass also. So Tenerim owns 3. We see that qkieu has won the die roll. Going second is a pretty big deal with your deck, right? Like you just want to buy one character and pass on your first turn, most likely.
You know, you're most likely getting the double fate advantage out of going second, especially against Lion.
Oh, maybe not. We could just see LPB pass. Yeah, Travis. Tenerim's deck is awesome. He definitely wins. He definitely wins the award for most inventive, creative, insane deck, for sure.
qkieu, if he kept the Socio-Illusionist, I actually think that that's a mistake. Like I would have. I tend to mulligan basically everything that's not a 1-cost character.
So yeah, you just want Liar and Manipulator first turn, right?
Double Spirit Caller on the first turn is real super weird for Tenerim. And hopefully he has a charge for Totori, maybe to get in some max damage on a challenge here in the first turn, and maybe pitch a Spirit Caller and keep the second one going into next turn.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. So you just buy LPB, right?
Yeah. So. With that being the strategy right now, I don't think it would be incorrect for qkieu to just buy both of the 2-drops and put a fate on each of them.
Well, then you can't Fate Worse Than Death this LPB?
Death it anyway. He's got 3 fate on it. Like, it doesn't... Fate Worse Than Death doesn't do anything. Like, it's very undervalued if you play it on something where you're not removing it from the board the same turn with, like, a Void activation or something. So, like, if the Lion Pride Brawler manages to attack into a Meditations, then sure, then you could Meditations, Fate, and then drop a conflict character into play.
Into a Void.
If you decide to buy nothing, which should signify probably like an unassuming Yojimbo.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Tenerim's deck here is with only one Yuchi Wayfinder as the conflict character, instead of having more conflict characters that can make your Feast or Famines very bad in the early game because you don't have characters to drop in to be able to steal that fate. Not that Feast or Famine generally doesn't do anything against the Scorpion deck anyway, but just in general.
We see Eric in chat saying, how to stop LPV, just don't have any characters. Easily countered. Did it. Alright, so we're gonna see conflict here. I guess you just fire off Earth, right?
To do any other ring.
Like Earth and Fire are the only ones that have a lasting impact.
Correct. Um, if he manages, I think the one province he definitely wants to avoid more than anything else is meditations. I think that you would even be fine with hitting secret cache over meditations, just because meditations does provide a line to remove Lion's Pride Brawler this turn.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I was gonna say Tenerim could just pass his first conflict. Yeah, and so we see a first conflict pass here. So now we're gonna see qkieu pass because he doesn't have any characters in play. And then, do you just stand here with this LPB? No, that's crazy, right?
Province, like otherwise your Lion Pride Brawler value just deteriorates. Like just having if you have guys on the board, you have to be aggressive so that they get some value. So he needs to attack in some way and flip something over. It's just it's going to be a huge bummer if it is meditations and gives qkieu an opportunity to remove Lion's Pride Brawler.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Shivanu? Sandy Bell in chat here is Shivanu. Really well done, man. That was a really sick game. So he attacks the Shoju province. Military Earth, most likely. Yep, Military Earth. We see Shameful Display. So, Seeker Fate here.
Yeah, like worst case scenario is like Shoju gets charged in. And then like goes for a policy debate.
Yeah.
But that's not even the worst thing that could happen to you on this attack. So even though it's not super, that happens also. That's actually even not as bad as the charge Shoju policy debate. So
cutting magistrate is sick. I like that card a lot.
And I don't, I understand why qkieu wants two of it because like for the Shameful Display drop on cutting magistrate is so good.
Yeah, we see. Oh, so we see the Brawler bowing just so that way he won't claim the ring. So now the text box says that it's 2-0, but for some reason Jigoku doesn't automatically update when it comes to magistrates. So it really is 0-0.
Yeah, what Tenerim is currently seeing on his dialogue box should be 0-0.
Yes. Shiba, anyway, or Sandy, if depending on tomorrow, you might be playing against the Scorpion. So tomorrow we have Bill versus Woodwin as our final top 16 match, and so let's see if Bill can keep slaying the Scorpions. He said that he's going to look forward to it because if he wins, he doesn't have to play Scorpion again.
This Hornate fan is probably representing a policy debate, correct?
Or he doesn't want to get debated because he's tied right now. It's 3-3.
Policy debate prevention.
Yeah, right. Because then it would be 3-1, and you could get debated. Travis saying, "Do you attempt to charge Toturi here?" I don't. I don't like doing that. Maybe actually.
There's just so many bad things that can happen.
Well, so if you spend one fate to charge Toturi, if you're ready for battle, you're immune to Fury, and then is your opponent gonna fate worse than death a zero fated character? I might consider it. Yeah, and we do see it. Okay, so we see charge Toturi.
Away the Scorpion also just wrecks the plan. Also.
Yeah, right. So then you're trading a fate and a card for a card. That is obviously that's the worst case scenario, right? Way the Scorpion here is the actual worst case. The other ones, I don't think are as bad.
If I were qkieu, I would actually be a little hesitant to burn Fury here.
You weigh the Scorpion here, right? For sure.
Way the Scorpion, you just windmill slam that first. If you don't, but you have the Fury, I would actually be very hesitant about playing it because it burns another card out of your hand. They could ready for battle to counteract it, and then now you're just kind of like, well, now I'm going to lose 2 more cards.
Well, the thing is, he's going to have ready for battle at any point. You have to burn them at some point, right? Like you can't just keep playing around them. Oh, we see. Oh, okay. So he's
Wait,
just gonna give
so-
this. He's giving it up. So right, he doesn't want to lose his conflict character. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see a double Earth Ring here. It looks like. Because qkieu doesn't have any fate now. Yeah. Wow. So Tenerim gets a really strong conflict win here. Discards Assassination and Edict.
Oh my.
Those are some good hits. That was a really, really strong turn one. Okay, so what does... So this is really scary. If qkieu hits Feast or Famine, I think he loses the game. Or he's in a really horrific spot, right? He might not lose the game. If he hits Feast or Famine and Tenerim has a way to buff his character, right? How insane is that?
Yeah, and I would have probably preferred to just risk losing the character and just passed out of this phase and gone into next turn with the extra fate.
Yeah, with 5 fate. If this is Feast or Famine, I'm just so worried.
This is one of the, in my opinion, this is one of the downsides to not running Meek. Like, Meek would have been just such an awesome drop here if you still wanted to. And then, like, your opponent's already burned a fan, so unlikely that they'll have the extra pump to, screw you over.
Yeah.
This is this is giving me heart trouble. Oh my god!
All right. It's a military conflict too. Does Tenerim have any buff? He just needs a sword. Oh, he doesn't.
Bonsai? Oh wow!
Oh my god!
Such luck
that would have
to
been,
not have
that. Oh man, that would have.
Bonsai would have wrecked you like.
No, Tenerim doesn't have Bonsai. Tenerim only has a Legion of 1 as his military buff, and a Legion of 1 can only play it on your own character, I think.
He didn't have. If he had like Favorite Mount in his hand, he didn't have the money to play it.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so lucky. You just steal 2 fate off the honored magistrate onto Toturi, and you're just crushed, right? Like that's so risky. Well, he escapes. All right, so now we're gonna see Spirit Caller Toturi action. So now fate on the brawler is more appealing, right?
qkieu kept both of those dynasty cards, and that was also a mistake.
You think you should have mulliganed both the 2s?
He gets bailed. His deck bails him out by giving him the 1-drops that he needs now. I think you go liar pass here.
Okay. You don't care about manipulator. You don't want the extra card.
Yeah, both are fine. They both represent card advantage.
Would you have faded your liar?
1-drops, but that's a personal way that I play.
So say that one thing. You don't like fading them.
I don't fate any of the 1-drops usually. Okay. If I do fate anything, it's usually the manipulator over liar.
That's fair.
It's their own little way. They like to play 1-drops. I don't think anything is necessarily a wrong line.
Alright, so Tenerim's thinking. So what do you buy here if you're Lion? Do you buy Spirit Caller or do you buy Brawler?
I would not value the Brawler. I think the choice is between Satoshi or Spirit Caller. Satoshi by this turn, if you can protect both Spirit Callers, makes buying both Spirit Callers next turn much stronger.
Oh, yeah, sure, right.
Satoshi's filling up
Satoshi 1 then?
You can Satoshi 1, go dig out the other Satoshi, put him to 2.
That's strong. And then hopefully build some keepers or something. You buy Spirit Caller too, though.
He's just like Spirit Caller, fuck it. Which is, I mean, hard to not do whenever you've got Toturi in your discard pile.
You can set up Spirit Caller Satoshi next turn then, right? Like, he's just doing it in the opposite order.
I like to start making use of Satoshi as early as possible, but that's probably like the greed talking. It's also maybe not incorrect to charge in a Satoshi to make use of an activation.
He does only have one charge
I don't
left.
necessarily hate that.
He does only have 1 charge left. He's only on 2,
okay.
And he is playing a 45 card deck, so.
Great. Also, Satoshi, I think, meshes a little bit better with the attachments that you have in this deck as well.
He's also really good with like court games or something. Honor Satoshi is a pretty good house. I've made Satoshi my Voltron in Dragon before. Just had him honored with a couple fans, and he was a 10 political attacker.
Voltron at a unicorn, like that guy is just great.
Yeah.
Either side also not unexpected in any way. I do highly agree with not buying Lion's Pride Brawler, of course, because he's not going first.
Yeah, that's fair. He does have 14 cards right now.
I mean, when you double Earth on the first turn, it will create some separation.
Yeah, that's true. How many attachment controls is qkieu running? 4? No, he's only running 3. He cut a calling in favor. Are you on 2 or 1 calling in favors?
I'm on 2, okay. And currently no I Can Swim. But an I Can Swim, you know, it's going to take some work for I Can Swim to be turned on because Tenerim has no reason not to just continue to bid 5 for the foreseeable future.
So he's attacking Feast or Famine. Tenerim, if he wants, could just bring in Toturi and then steal a fate off of a Magistrate and then have the Toturi leave. It's not great, but I mean, if he wants to clear a character off, he could do that.
Yeah.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Toturi gets put into the conflict. That doesn't work. What if Tenerim has this one of Yuchi Wayfinder? Never mind. He just defends with the brawler. This sets you up here for shame, but I hope he has some ready for battles. This also... Oh, so we play court games. Okay. Card is getting... I think Fate Worse Than Death is getting played here. Nope, never mind. Court games. I didn't see... Never mind. Fate didn't move. If you get Fate Worse Than Death, do you do that there instead of the court games? Oh, no, you can't do that. Cause then...
No, because...
Yeah, because then of Feast or Famine.
Tenerim's actually bought his board here. I would save Fate Worse Than Death for Qkieu Spirit Caller because if Tenerim wants to attack, he's got to first put Qkieu Spirit Caller into the attack before he can before he can bring. So it'll be interesting to see how the Void, if on Void, seeing where he strips off could tell a little bit about his hand. If he takes it off of Qkieu Spirit Caller, then that represents he has Fate Worse Than Death.
Or Mono. Mono's bad for him here.
Yeah, he can't... normally, it would also signify Mono, but he just can't play Mono right now. This is actually a very bad defense. Like... Sure, you court games out of it, but your opponent has so many answers. Oh,
guard duty.
Guard duty. Yeah, sure.
Ready to defend. This is so sick. This deck is awesome. This deck is sick, dude. I think this deck is awesome.
This is a great deck.
So we see, does qkieu have a piece of attachment control here? He does only have 3 pieces, and we have a 20 attachment deck. So there's.
I wonder if we'll just see a Force Shame here.
Yeah, that's susceptible to Ready for Battle, but I mean it is. Yeah, so we see For Shame. Does he have Ready for Battle? And then, yep, there's the Ready for Battle.
Go ahead and burn Ready for Battles whenever you're on offense anyway. So I don't hate that play because it removes them from the hand for the Furies later.
Zergling, you just gotta wait till next Winter Court where Crane can become keeper again.
Of course it is. This cartoon is hilarious. You just give it up.
So Phoenix is saying we'll trade you.
That's just because Phoenix wants of the Void back.
Yeah, well, no. I think Travis is saying they'll trade Keeper for Seeker right now. I'm not sure what the trade is. So this guard duty Lion's Pride Brawler is hanging around. One thing to note is Tenerim has 3 copies of Stand Your Ground. So anytime we see an honored character, we need to be wary that that is a possibility.
I would be very surprised if he didn't already have one in his hand and is just, looking to keep this Lion's Pride Brawler around after next turn.
Agreed. Hey, what's up, Tor? We have we what's happening in this game is we have just the craziest lion deck you'll ever see, and currently we saw a turn 1 double Earth Ring resolution on Shameful Display with Toturi, and so lion got a break turn 1 with double Earth Ring. We just saw 6 Fate. Oh, we see Kachiko.
Oh,
You could for shame Kachiko here.
power, and then you kick a Lion's Pride Brawler out.
Sure. Oh, you bow her. Yeah, okay. What does Tenerim do?
His fate now, he has to remove the fate from Lion's Pride Brawler. You can't go for any sick plays against Spirit Caller, unfortunately.
Agreed.
Even though it's like it'll be really super awkward if the Spirit Caller runs into but really at this point in time, Lion's Pride Brawler is just the more severe target. Guard duty representing that it could stick around for another turn if it's allowed to defend again next turn.
Oh, yeah. So for Shane's Kachiko, if she kicks out the Brawler, you can, Travis is saying, you can call in Toturi on defense, and then you get to take the fate off of Kachiko, and then have the Toturi leave. So you trade a Spirit Caller activation for 6 fate. That play's also even more insane if you have a second ready for battle for this Brawler. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was saying that's off the table because she's not bowed. We see policy debate.
I think that this was extremely greedy on qkieu's part.
He's after a lot here.
After the ready for battle comes down, I think I would have just passed.
So we see Legion of One, Censure, Katana, Finger of Jade, Gaijin Customs. He does have the Wayfinder. He does have a policy debate. He's a Sashimono and a Spyglass. Finger of Jade here is really interesting. If he didn't choose to kick out Kachiko first because he wanted to get the policy debate off, if he doesn't take Finger of Jade can protect this Lion's Pride Brawler.
I think you take the Wayfinder, and then you kick out your own Bayushi Liar.
Oh, okay, that's sick. I like that. Presumably after your opponent plays Finger of Jade, right?
Yeah, you can't allow the Kitsu Spirit Caller to blow you out with the Totori play after you spend all this money on Kachiko. So you just knock the Liar out of the battle, so you have presumably some political defense that you probably don't even need anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just the better play.
Is it not worth burning Finger of Jade on the roller? Presumably Lion's gonna play Finger of Jade here to protect his brawler from being kicked, and then you just make him burn the Finger of Jade activation by kicking him.
If you're Tenerim, you don't want to. If you're Tenerim, you don't want your opponent to not kick out your Lion's Pride.
Why?
You want the Lion's Pride brawler to be kicked out at this point in time.
Why?
So don't do any. Because then you bring in Totori and you remove Kachiko from the table.
No. Kachiko's bowed. It would be 3-3. He wouldn't break. Right? It's just Liar versus 3 political from Totori. So it's just 3-3 then. Unless I'm missing something.
Oh no, that's correct.
Okay. I was like, so that's why I'm saying I think you Finger of Jade to protect yourself from the Void Ring.
Oh, what it does?
No. Finger of Jade protects you from Kachiko's ability, right? So Finger of Jade protects you from whenever a card let me just pull it up on screen for some people. It is not a widely played card. Interrupt. When the effects of a card ability that targets attached creature would initiate, sacrifice this attachment to cancel the effects. So Kachiko's ability would try to initiate, and then you would have the option to sacrifice Finger of Jade.
That's fine. I was just misunderstanding you. I thought you meant like stop the void ring. So yeah, he does go ahead and do that.
I mean, it does in a sense. It does stop the void ring in a sense, right? It just stops the conflict winning. Oh, but he has a let go. Interesting that he chooses to let go the finger jade, not the guard duty. I guess he just thought he figured he was gonna win the conflict anyway and void. So we know his hand. He doesn't have anything, right? There's just no way for him to stop the qkieu from kicking him out.
I think so.
And because he took Void Ring, this protects him from getting double voided by Toturi.
Yeah, no, Void was absolutely the correct ring to attack on. So yeah, okay. Since the Uchi Wayfinder's gone, Pride Brawler is kicked out here. I think you just have to bite it and let the province go.
Zergling, what are you saying? Is this person a spam bot? Yo, one of my mods, take care of this. Alright. Which one's the bot? Is it Yeah, Travis, get on that. Ban this user. Yeah, there, easy. Did it. I got like 17 mods. I literally mod like everybody, so I don't have to do any work. I got 4 mods in this channel. I got Luke, Soto, and Travis. None of them doing anything. You know what? My boy Fighting Walloon is now a mod.
Congratulations, right. you got a spam bot.
There we go.
You're a big important person.
Yep,
now.
Big important person. Attracted us a bot. All right, Fighting Walloon, you'll do it. I trust you. All right, so we have qkieu kicks out the brawler. We're gonna get a break on Feast or Famine here.
I think you just have to let it go at this point in time.
Alright, and Flying Zergling, you're gonna be a mod too. Done. Easy. Now I got enough mods. Yeah, Shmooze, this is pretty much Phoenix chat. Phoenix chat for sure. We know Tenerim's hand, right? Like, he just can't do anything about this. He's gonna lose his brawler here.
Well, so what he can do is he can attack in on military spirit caller.
You have to do fire. You can do military fire.
Yeah, try and get and honor the Lion's Pride brawler. Well, wait, did he have a stand?
No, he didn't have stand your ground in his hand.
He didn't even have stand your ground. Okay, yeah, then this brawler is totally dead. Like, if you don't have stand your ground in your hand, then I actually think that defending at all was probably too risky.
That's reasonable. He should have policy debated, I think, when he was at 4-3, and potentially got that qkieu.
Was there ever an action window whenever he was bigger before the qkieu came into play?
I'm checking. Court games to honor, court games to dishonor, guard duty, for shame, ready for battle, uses guard duty, thinking. No, you're right. The qkieu could not have been taken.
I think you just let it go. In fact, since he had the Wayfinder in his hand, his first action should have just been, I don't defend, play Wayfinder.
Yeah, I like that. Then you don't have to play the guard duty, and you just play the Wayfinder. Like, you just put the Wayfinder outside of the conflict, right? And then you just... You just threaten taking fate off something.
One assassination's already been used by qkieu, so... I would have been completely fine with just letting the Feast or Famine go without uncontested.
Agreed.
use a good number of cards there. So we're currently seeing hand size of 8 to 5. Not the favorite spot of the Scorpion deck. Like everything about where the second turn is, which is having a bunch of dudes out with fate, having having 0 fate and less cards in your hand than your opponent, is sort of counter to the general game plan of what the deck wants to do. But it hasn't exactly not worked out yet.
Yeah. He just has to he has to make advantage of this for going into next turn, right? Next turn he needs a big turn because once his board leaves, he'll be at a disadvantage. Also, we'll have Lion going first with Brawler and double Spirit or Brawler, Spirit Caller and something else maybe. We can just see double Brawler.
That's another reason why I really would have liked to have seen the Satoshi come out instead of the Spirit Caller here.
Yes, agreed. Do you even commit the Spirit Caller on offense? Or do you just pull Tenerim on defense? I guess it forces... Because, like, if your opponent has a dishonor effect, like, if they have a Way of the Scorpion, you just get blown out, right? Like, you can suffer 2 breaks this turn. I guess it's the same thing on defense, too. Your opponent, or the Magistrate's on offense, too. Never mind. I think you attack them.
He does have Shameful on defense.
Yeah, oh, that's true. It's tough, right? It's also really it's awkward, right? You don't want to hit if you hit Secret Cache. It's just pretty much guaranteeing your opponent away the Scorpion, if he doesn't already have one. You want to hit Meditations if you hit anything. Not even
Meditations is probably
no Meditations is bad, right? You take it because the Spirit Caller has to be in the conflict, so you lose a fate off your Spirit Caller.
It's a bummer, but I think that's probably that's less worse than giving your opponent a fate, right? Because right now, if you hit Meditations, their only answer to Totori is Way of the Scorpion. If you give them a fate by hitting Pilgrimage, then it turns on their.
Well, Pilgrimage also will cancel the effects if he doesn't break.
Meditations is totally your best case scenario. Qkieu being very gracious to his opponent. So to punish him every time he takes a moment to think, I'm going to be accusing him of going into the tank way too hard. No acts of kindness go unpunished on the internet, QQ.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely, especially with a name like QQ.
Manicure Garden. I need to look at his provinces. I don't know what's going on. So... Manicure Garden, Meditations, Pilgrimage, Shameful. So he's not running Secret Cache. I retract my earlier statement. Manicured Garden, totally best case scenario for Tenerim.
Wait, is he not playing Secret Cache? What?
No.
Alright, well that's a big change between your deck and his, right? Like,
that is a change. Indeed. A minor change is that he's running Rally to the Cause instead of Entrenched Position. That's fine. To want to play a Money Province because the deck feels really greedy money-wise, but Secret Cache is just so fucking broken. Like,
oh really yeah, Tor. I just said that because it was a joke at QQ. The full caps with spaces in front. Oh yeah, you're right. We did discuss this last time. QQ had Manicure Garden versus Joe. I completely forgot. I just thought it was so. I just thought it was so insane that I lost my mind.
You mentally blocked it out.
Interesting. He uses his Stronghold and not his Spirit Caller, even though QQ can now Miyamoto's Fury or Spirit Caller. I would have just used the Spirit Caller, right? Because if you have Ready for Battle, you just Ready for Battle Totori anyway.
I don't understand the point of using the box in the first place there. Because he's not breaking, so what does that give you?
Yeah, I agree. So there's the Fury, not surprised. So, Okay. Awkward situation here. If qqieu attacks with both magistrates and hits Shameful Display, he will not break because you can dishonor the non-honored one and unhonor the honored one, and so the dishonored one won't contribute. His conflict character got discarded, Tor. So I think Lion's gonna suffer a second break here. If you're Lion, what province do you want them to hit?
Well, you want him to hit Shameful so that you have a built-in way to stop it from happening.
Well, if he attacks with both, right? If he attacks with one, you want him to hit Art of War?
Sure, he's running Art of War.
He is indeed running Art of War. I checked.
Okay. So I haven't completely lost my mind.
Yeah.
If qqieu attacks with both, it's a mistake. If he just attacks with one...
You attack with the honored one, I think, right? Like, that's correct.
And then you just attack with the honored one, and then is correct for qqieu, and then on Tenerim, you're basically hoping that he hits the Art of War, so that you can...
he attacks with both, and we're going to see Shameful Display. Attacks the other Spirit Caller, hits Art of War. Okay.
It's not the worst that could happen to qqieu.
Yeah. Contesting fire, he's just going to honor qkieu here, I think. Yeah, okay. So to bow qkieu, you need a brawler to get up to 6 mil, which is very easily done by Lion.
A little surprised by the fire ring there. I think honoring qkieu is like a super huge big deal, right? But
going first, maybe, right? I think going second against brawler, maybe not.
Get there if he wants to with a brawler, and I think I would have preferred to try and shore up the hand size discrepancy.
Yeah, 11-4 right now is not where you want to be as Scorpion. Scorpion does have a really insane board right now, but once this board leaves, Scorpion's going to be in trouble. We could also see a military water by the Lion player, and with Toturi you could threaten to bow out the board. Toturi and a brawler, you could just threaten to bow out the board. And now that Manicure Garden is the province that's been revealed, you can just keep attacking that.
So earlier, whenever Tenerim used the box, do you think he just did that as an action, to like burn an action to not use Spirit Caller?
Yeah, that's fair. Just
to see if he could like tease out a Fury.
Yeah, right. So you keep Toturi in your graveyard for this turn when you're going first, and you can then buy your own brawler, and then you can threaten double water Toturi. Yeah, exactly. When the enemy board is all no fate, you can just double. Is Tenerim playing for Greater Glory? Tenerim is not playing for Greater Glory.
Yeah, he's playing big line. Like his deck is nuts as hell.
I think it's good, right? Like if you're not used to playing against this, it is really awkward.
The only danger is if he one fates out, he risks Mono Aware being a bit of a blowout. Mono Aware is a card that I'm actually probably going to be, if I choose to play this Scorpion archetype any further, is most likely coming out for just like more policy debates and things and stuff. But Mono Aware does real work against Crane and Lion, and is usually always active in those matchups because of how heavily they have to invest in their own dynasty. And so Tenerim is slightly setting himself up for a blowout should qqieu have it. Makes sense.
Alright, so both players bid 5. qqieu goes up by 1. So qqieu's gonna get 2 cards. Two more cards, right? He gets one extra one from the manipulator and one from the storehouse.
I don't think it's necessary to burn Storehouse yet. Like you wait and see.
Yeah. It was Nephra's Goblin Guide, not Goblin Greed. Yeah, a mono would be sick here, right? Like that's the card.
And I don't. Tenerim bid 5 here. I think that that's still correct. You have hand advantage. You want to keep going in hand advantage. Eventually, like the Scorpion player is going to do something to remove honor from the shared honor pool, and at that point in time, that's when you start pressuring one.
Yeah.
As Lion.
So we know Tenerim has a censure, but it is not on right now. So maybe that's another argument for buying Satoshi instead of the Spirit Color last turn, because then you could have Satoshi'd into the Palace.
100%, I would have preferred the Lions board more if he had played Satoshi last turn.
So he City of Lies his first action. This signifies to me maybe a what's that card called? Fate Worse Than Death?
Possibly. I honestly, I would just like Mono no Owari right off the bat and
just
draw
first
a card.
action mana.
Just like screw you. This is happening.
You don't buy the manipulator with 1 then, right? Like that's. I guess he would have had to have drawn into it.
Whenever he buys manipulator with 1 there, I don't think that he thought that Tenerim was gonna go insane and just put only 1 fade on the rest of his guys.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep, contesting water, not surprised.
Like the benefit I think of just like playing Mono no Owari right off the bat is like it does slightly protect your hand from like policy debates, you know, not necessarily saying either player is in a huge position other than qkieu to play a policy debate right now, but it's just like I would just want to do it now before anything else could happen.
Agreed.
We're gonna do it. Plus you get the card out of it.
Yeah, that's true. You get to cycle. Yeah. Tori in chat's pointing out. Imagine this is a secret cache. Drawing the best card out of your 5. It's so much better than 1 fate right now. Like imagine if he doesn't have Mono no Owari, right? And this was secret cache, and he gets to just go grab 1.
Yeah, like if after this season is over, I'll probably talk to qkieu a little bit and ask about his thoughts on playing Manicure Garden and how impactful it was.
Heinzel also plays Manicure Garden still, and Heinzel is a longtime Scorpion player, so he's not the only one. I personally think it's insane because if I had access to Secret Cache, I would always play that card.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine a world in which I wouldn't run Secret Cache.
I would say the other 6 clans were all clamoring for that air province. I think every single clan would play Secret Cache if they had access to it. If Secret Cache was a neutral province, I think every single, I would say 90% of the decks would play it. So we see a ton of thinking about blocking. So the way I think that players like this who take this long to decide on blocks and stuff aren't thinking about what they should be doing during all this dead space. Like when you've passed already in Dynasty, you should already know my opponent's going to do an attack with Lion Spire Brawler, probably with the Water Ring. How am I blocking? No, I think that... Oh,
this is fine.
I think this is fine. It does leave you susceptible to Fury, but it's really awkward if you hit Pilgrimage or Meditations.
I mean, if we live in a world where everything is getting Mono no Owari'd anyway, like, what's the worst that can happen to you? I personally think that going for the other province is correct just to protect Totori.
Travis, I probably would still play Shameful Display in Dragon. Yeah,
like, even if he does hit Pilgrimage.
Art of Peace definitely got the short end of the stick there, Flying Zergling. So there's the Fate Worse Than Death. So this signifies to me that he does not have Mono no Owari.
that's the case.
I'm definitely not wrong, Travis. Shameful Display is definitely stronger in Dragon than Kuroi Mori. I don't need a stronghold province. I absolutely don't need a stronghold province. I then have to put a shitty earth or water province in my row. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Obviously, the thought now is it even worth putting Totori in? Because if your opponent defends with Cunning Magistrate, that's obviously representing, in my opinion, Away of the Scorpion. He's drawn half of his deck. There's 2 copies in there. It would seem insane for there not to have been at least one drawn at some point.
I think Public Forum is garbage. I think Public Forum is unplayable. I think the fact that people play Public Forum now is literally a cry to the fact that there are no other good Earth provinces. Just because it's the best of a bad bunch doesn't make it good. I personally think Public Forum is garbage.
With Public Forum is how easily it's farmable against.
Yeah, like when I play Public Forum, I'm like, yes, thank you. I will just keep attacking this province until I'm ready to win the game. And
that's correct. Is people like there's times where you should not react with Public Forum and just let it break if you are going to run it, and people don't do that enough.
Interesting. We see a Spirit Caller bringing a Spirit Caller. This signifies a Legion of One to me. I think he's gonna play Legion of One here. I mean, Public Forum doesn't do anything against Dragon either anyway. I just play Pathfinder's Blade and kill it if I want to.
I think if you're running Talisman of the Sun, then where Public Forum can be good. Because you knock them off of your stronghold a couple turns in a row.
Yeah, that's fair.
And make them break 5 provinces to actually get to your stronghold. That can be strong, but people really do need to quit activating it all the time. Like, it's okay to let it die sometimes. In my opinion. So we see a charge here.
Also, Travis, when you have Conjure District lock going, I feel like you don't even need it to be on Public Forum. It could just be on anything, and it's just Conjure District still. Alright, so we see Runemonger gets charged. We see Stronghold get activated. Legion of One will bring him up to 5. So, Tenerim, I mean, this is a Legion of One play right here, for sure.
I think you Legion of One here, and you try and get the... you try and burn a card out of your opponent's hand to like dishonor the Spirit Caller, and then you don't
care, right? Like then you still have Totori in your graveyard. This does leave you really wide to a Void Ring on your Spirit Caller.
What would he? 16 card hand. I mean, like it would seem like he would be able to defend really well. And that could be an argument for not using Legion of One here, is that like an Akoma Prodigy plus a Legion of One is 6 military to defend with, and I do really like Legion of One on defense plays.
The problem right now is that Scorpion's board is actually insane, right? Like there's no character online that can stand Takachiko. Even if qkieu runs in a Shameful Display?
Well, no, he needs to win this challenge so he can bow Kachiko.
Yeah, he has to win, right? But like, if
he does have to do that.
Yeah. If he wins and bows Kachiko, then I think he's in a fine spot. Actually, Kachiko running in a Shameful Display won't do anything anyway, because Young Rumormonger's in play.
Charged Rumormonger, I do actually really like as a play from qkieu here. And if he's unable to bow if Tenerim's unable to bow Kachiko, then qkieu is representing a third break. Ahead of schedule for this deck to be already to be on a third break, but against Lion, that usually is your win condition, is just breaking their stronghold.
Maybe
when you're playing
maybe
a
you're
Scorpion.
supposed to Spirit Color the Brawler here, your other Brawler in your graveyard, because this one's gonna die for the next activation, and then you can Legion of One the Brawler, and then you can bow Kachiko with the Brawler in case, and then if you win, you can bow the Honored Magistrate. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do.
Either Brawler or Totori, like they're both risky if you don't have.
Well, no,
ready
like
for
you just don't bring Totori in, right? Because he's still susceptible to Fury. Brawler. Okay, so we see Forge Edict canceling the Legion of One. Yeah, so if this was a Brawler here, it would be at 4, and he'd at least bow a character.
Even while bound, that's true. He'll have another. Well, no.
How is Totori more reliable, Sandy? If QQ plays a For Shame or any number of cards, Totori doesn't do anything if he doesn't win, right? Whereas Brawler still does something if she loses. At least that's my line of thinking.
Bonsai out of a lot of decks, but I think it takes balls to drop it out of Lion.
Yes, I would agree. He also has no Way of the Lion either, so like he just doesn't. Yeah, he just doesn't have the traditional buffs.
What?
What did you say?
But he's got 45 cards to play around with. You can't fit in a couple Way of the Lions in
Nope,
here.
no Way of the Lions, no Bonsais. Like I just don't like taking Legion of One when you have. I don't like taking Legion of One when Bonsai and Way of the Lion are both usually more efficient. Also the multiplicative ability of Way of the Lion is bonkers. Like
No argument there. Nice thing for Tenerim is that these Cunning Magistrates leaving play this turn is going to be really big for him. Of course, and Kachiko as well.
Yeah.
But, like...
I mean, opponents can be in a stronghold, then.
He's going to be in a tough spot. But he is running... He's running Ancestral Lands as his stronghold.
Yeah. So we're seeing Adaptive Shadows into the conflict. Was that a second Legion of One that we saw? It was. So Adaptive Shadows shows up. Tenerim has a sword in his hand. I mean, I think you have to play the sword here and bow Kachiko. But again, if this was just a Lion's Pride Brawler, he would have able to bow Kachiko with just the Brawler's ability.
I think that the Adept of Shadows telegraphs that QQ only has one source of dishonor in his hand, be it A4 Shame, or be it A4 Shame or a Way of the Scorpion. He just doesn't want to play it before before the Spirit Caller activation, which could leave him in a poor spot.
We are seeing a lot of expenditure of resources from QQ, and we've seen Assassination on this Adaptive Shadows, so this is actually going decently for Tenerim.
Still has a fan in his hand, correct?
No, this is a mill conflict.
Katana.
Well, sure, he just wants he just doesn't want the Adept to have recursion, right?
I'm just saying that, you know, he has more sources of pump in his hand.
Yeah.
For military. I do agree with killing the shit out of the Adept, though. I think that's perfectly fine.
So we see an assassination from QQ killing one of the prodigies at home. So speaking of the total honor pool tanking, we just saw 6 honor from the total pool get dropped out.
With the hand disparity right now, next turn, I think with that assassination from QQ, I do think it is correct for Tenerim to start scaling down his bids to the lower spectrum.
You can just one bid now for the rest of the game and just like choke resources out of QQ. QQ doesn't have Fate right now, and he's not gonna have a board, so you could potentially just use resources that way. I think that's reasonable.
So if I were QQ, I may have actually held off on that assassination until I got in at least one more turn where I could safely bid 5.
Maybe you also wait to see if Tenerim like overcommits to defense or something.
Good thought. Yes. Here is basically the only thing that he really wants to avoid. What he hasn't qkieu hasn't attacked, correct? Yet. This is his first attack. Is I think that Bayushi Liar political probably Earth or Air, one of the two, just to get some fate onto the Satoshi province, in my opinion, is the best way to go.
So, Tora's saying going Void to kill the Spirit Caller. I would have to agree. Getting the Spirit Caller off the board is really huge.
Oh, never mind. Yes, you're correct.
You also are going first next turn, so you can air first next turn with 3 fate on it. Oh, no, never mind. Tenerim has a political conflict left.
The Liar is still what you attack with.
Yes, agreed. It is susceptible to For Shame.
You just want to flip province over and threaten Void.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. It's awkward, though, if you don't get the Void Ring, because then the Spirit Caller lives. I guess then you just get to air, and then you can draw more cards. Or you could even
My fear is if you... I mean, I guess you could just try and, like, go with Manipulator, Cunning Magistrate, Military, to try and secure the Void Ring.
Yeah, that might be better. Your opponent's already played 2 Legion of Ones, so they only have 2 more. Or, sorry, 1 more.
Even in that respect, you lose, right? Because your opponent just blocks with the Akoma Prodigy, and then Legion of Ones.
Well, he has to have the 3rd one, right? Like, do you play around your opponent having the 3rd one in 19 cards? We see a Spyglass. Let go, discard Spyglass. qkieu has 1 piece of attachment control left for, like, 20 more attachments. Especially if the bids get low. Tenerim does have a copy of Talisman of the Sun. Which could be very interesting.
Yeah. Comfortable with running the Liar, political Void at whatever province, even if it is shameful.
It's Manicure Garden, so that's really fortunate.
Your opponent only has 1 For Shame left, and half of his deck, so it's semi-reasonable to expect that he may not have it. I think qkieu will get a second break out of this turn now.
Well, yeah, you're not going to break Ancestral Land, right? Like, you're not going to break Ancestral Land with your Cunning Magistrate?
Actually, yeah, like, I'm assuming he doesn't break here is what I mean.
Oh, sure.
Like, he doesn't break here, and then he throws the Cunning Magistrate at the Shameful that's next to it. A possibility that Tenerim may get in the way here. Or he could just give it to him, but that's just so risky. Maybe it's correct. Maybe that's the correct way to go, is just to let this go.
We do say an Air Ring, by the way, not Void Ring. But I guess he can pick up the Void with the Magistrate, and then do first turn Earth next turn with 2 fate on it.
Well, that only means something if if Tenerim actually defends here. Otherwise, he could have just gone in for void, right?
Yeah, but Tenerim has chosen to defend.
A little lucky for QQ there that that's what he decided to do.
We could see a mono. We could see a mono. We could see mono to kill the other two characters, and then we could see an Earth Ring.
I really would not like a mono right now because I feel like if mono's in his hand, then there's no point in playing the Fate Worse Than Death. You just like let the Manicured Province go.
That's fair. Yeah, if he just Spirit Colored that Brawler though this turn, like QQ has one less attacker this turn, and it's just way easier. So we see Policy Debate onto the Manipulator.
Scorpion Honor there is, I think, a little bit risky, but I think you just really need to see
so he has a Fate Worse Than Death for Shame, a Swim, double Yojimbo.
Yojimbos are going to be hot fire. For Tenerim, he has to take one of these Yojimbos.
Yes.
Because
also,
if he doesn't, then he just gets military next turn.
Well, also if he wins this conflict, he'll win favor. And then he has at least one Censure in his hand. Yeah, I take a Yojimbo here, absolutely.
Saying that there's not a break here, which I think you don't, right? The Cunning Magistrate goes military. Do you throw it at Manicured Garden, or do you go ahead and flip over the Shameful? I think you flip over the Shameful. You break either one.
Well, you break either one, and it doesn't matter what you attack, right? Like, actually, I lied. I break Shameful in case my opponent has Talisman of the Sun to bring me somewhere else. Right?
Yeah,
I don't want to be brought to Shameful. So I absolutely break Shameful.
If you allow two Yojimbos, so like next turn he'll probably pitch the City of Lies, even though he has Fate Worse Than Death in his hand, just to get like some sort of like any sort of military target.
Yeah, if you get like Yunako or something.
And have enough like leave 6 Fate back so you can go unassuming Yojimbo, attack Stronghold on military, and you probably break.
Yeah, because your opponent doesn't have any more buffs like Bonsais or Way of the Lions, it's just super hard, right? Like, Way of the Lion is one of those things that lets Lion defend with, like, almost no characters, and then just, like, double Way of the Lion, oh, I now have 50 military strength.
His next attack of... If QQ is able to void away the Spirit Caller, then that'll really make, you know, the...
Those Yojimbos even better, right? Like...
Yeah.
I don't like picking Fate Worse Than Death. You have Censure. You're gonna win this conflict and then just censure the Fate Worse Than Death.
Oddly enough, I would not have taken the Fate Worse Than Death there either.
You just take unassuming Yojimbo. You're gonna lose the Spirit Caller. QQ's now ahead of you in Honor, so Honor is not a real possibility. Like, I don't know. Yeah, currently the conflict is tied. Tenerim has 10
QQ
cards in
passes
his
correctly
hand.
here.
Yeah, Tenerim has 10 cards in his hand. He better be able to win this conflict. He has 10 cards, Travis. What is he doing? What is he doing if he's not winning this conflict?
I mean, is winning the conflict even impact? Is it worth a card?
Yeah, it turns on Censure.
No, because QQ will still get the favor.
Why?
Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. If you win this conflict, you guarantee favor, and you then get to turn on some potentially dead cards in your hand. You can play court games. You can play for shame. You're playing a million cards. Hell, he can play guard duty. You play guard duty court games. That answers that right there.
Perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, Talisman of the Sun did it. There, we found the line. Now that the way is clear, we're gonna move over to Shameful Display, and we did it. Easy.
Could even just leave it here, right? And then move or to Manicured Garden if he attacks Shameful.
Why though? He breaks either of them because he has the favor.
Then
wouldn't you just want to dishonor this manipulator? Because then he'll have no courtiers. Not. Let me check. Yep, Manicure Garden to gain 1 fate. He just did it now.
do you the Spirit Caller now?
Do you what?
If let's say QQ has a battle where, like, you know, another battle, which he does, and he goes void,
yeah,
would you void the Spirit Caller or the Prodigy?
Oh, that's tough. Probably the Prodigy now, right? Because you only have you have a calling and favors to draw to, and that's it.
And my thought here is that if he's going to win this anyway, keep it here. And then next challenge, next conflict from QQ, you move it over to the Manicured Garden to keep your shameful. Your Talisman of the Sun is that much more powerful going into a turn whenever QQ is attacking your stronghold.
Yeah.
I'd want to save.
If I want to break, if I'm going to go for a break next turn, I'm voiding the Prodigy, right? Like that. We'll basically see how QQ wants to play the game, depending on his void selection. Tenerim doesn't move, by the way. Gaijin Customs! Ooh, that's so lit! That's so lit! Now you just political void.
That makes that defense there actually like a lot more reasonable, right? Because of the Gaijin Customs, which I think we always knew he had in his hand. We just, like,
we knew he had one. He needed a unicorn card.
Yeah. So you go So you go political void, right? Attack with Kitsu Spirit Caller. Then you bring in the Lion's Pride Brawler, and you kneel the Cunning Edge.
Oh, that's sick! That's sick! Right? That's so good. Oh, that's so good. Tenerim was playing 5D chess, and we were all playing. What is he trying to take what back? Oh, the pass.
QQ should. Not really Prodigy. No, that's incorrect. You're incorrect, Tenerim. You have the correct line of play.
No. He's already used Spirit Caller. He used Spirit Caller to bring in the Spirit Caller.
Right. Okay. I was thinking about the other Spirit Caller, and that's why I was thinking that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
We forgot about that. Like, I think Tenerim also. I think Tenerim also has realized that also. He's realized he's made somewhat of a mistake. Again, as the tournament has progressed, we have allowed the players to dictate. I don't think either line is correct. If it just depends on how you want to play the match. Almost 200 IQ, Sandy. Almost 200 IQ. Yeah, 100 IQ.
When you're playing online, there's
so this has nothing to do with the online interface. This is just him. He picked the wrong target, right? He just made a mistake.
I don't like taking those back. I understand where, like, earlier in a match we saw somebody like using Kisada, or not Kisada, using which hunter, right, to straighten Kisada by blowing up a 1-drop, but he did it in reverse.
Yeah, that's different. Right? That's very clearly an interface mistake. This is literally Tenerim saying that he made a mistake, right? Like, he's just saying, I after rethinking the situation, I've played this card, and after thinking about it, I've made the wrong decision. In that scenario, I personally don't allow my opponent to take it back. You know, they made a mistake. Like, if I make a mistake, I'm not going to ask you to let me take it back, right? Like, that's just how I view the game. But, like,
awkward too, because people get, like, you know, I'm sure QQ's really nice, and you know, should he lose, won't be like, well, if I hadn't let you take that back. But those kinds of conversations happen, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I usually just remove the possibility of that happening.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
I also personally am not going to ask for a take back, so then I don't expect my opponent to give me one because I'm not going to ask. So by me giving them one, I'm never going to ask for one. It doesn't change anything. Tor, I consider the Discord Cup a real tournament. Like, a lot of the play in the Discord Cup was way higher than the stuff I saw at the Kote I was at.
trying to say that the Kote that I won didn't have high play. Is that what you're trying to say?
I would say there's out of the 69 people that were there, maybe 10 of them were good. No, 12. I don't know. Like the level of play was not very high. Like comparatively to the Discord.
In the beginning rounds, it definitely can be sketchy. For sure.
Comparatively to the Discord Cup, right? Like the Discord Cup has a lot of high level players because it's a global event. It's a global event, and like it has attracted a lot of high level players, right? Like I mean, I don't think that's incorrect in saying that.
It's not. It's also not unreasonable to say the top 8 of last season was filled with highly questionable plays.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm not saying that good players also don't make dumb plays. Discard's
from last season, the Vince.
Okay. Wait, why does qkieu defend that? Why do you care if he makes Manicure Garden? Is he just gonna play Yojimbo? I don't like this.
So now both Yojimbos will not be around whenever he wants to attack in to the stronghold.
Yeah, now he's on no fate, right? Like I don't like this. I don't like this line of play because you just spent 3 fate to get a break when you could have just left your magistrate there. He also didn't go for void. He's just gonna get his characters voided now. What is happening?
For void from the lion was incorrect. Defending by qkieu was incorrect. We were just dicking around on chat and we weren't even talking about the entire last conflict.
It is a break. Travis, it is a break. He has military favor.
It's over shameful here.
Yeah, I flip shameful for sure. Make my opponent use the talisman. And he's contesting void. Yeah, okay, well, Tenerim had just like these insane plays and they worked out. He just picked the wrong ring. Absolutely go void. You need to protect both of your characters here. And it voids off the manipulator so your opponent doesn't have a board.
Oh, I don't think that there's any question that Void was 100% better than Earth there. Like,
yeah.
You already have this insane card advantage where it's like 3 to 9. Now, sure, getting rid of the rest of them is a funny dick thing to do, but it doesn't impact the
now you lose
the game as much.
You lose your talisman.
And at exactly the time when you don't want to lose talisman, whenever your opponent's on your stronghold, and that's your only copy of it.
Yeah. And you would have killed this manipulator, too.
A tough spot here.
What do you bid? What do you bid if you're lying here?
That's interesting.
Oh, we see EG. Ikome EG is pretty sick. We see double Shoju though. Oh, it is ancestral land.
This is already out of your hand. What else do you have? Like qkieu buys Shoju here is the 100% correct thing to do.
What, Shoju 1?
Shoju 1, and then put the other one, and then bid 3.
And then you can go to 4 depending on what your opponent does?
Actually, qkieu I would just bid 5, personally.
He does not have an Ujiaki in the bin, Grody one. Oh, yeah, he's going first, right? So he's not at risk of being bowed by Brawler. Yeah, this is fine. Ikome EG here could be hype.
I would still bid 5. By qkieu, Tenerim needs to probably edit his bid down to 2 or 3. The reason why I would go 5 is just to make sure that because he has an I can swim.
If I'm Tenerim, I bid 3. Yeah, I bid 3 pretty easily. Like I would go down to 3 total, and there's no blackmail artist. Yeah, I think 3. Hey Rega, what's up, man?
To activate his, or at least have one part of the play restrictions for I can swim turned on by having a higher bid.
But then you just die. Then you just die to air, Tor. Oh man, Rega giving me that sub with Twitch Prime. Hell yeah, thanks Rega. Got that sick Twitch money coming in. I got like I think I'm up to like 17 subscribers. So small amount of Twitch money coming in. I will be whenever I get paid from Twitch, I will be putting that back into an upcoming project that we have special announcement planned for you guys. The announcement has definitely some bearing for you, Chris. So I would keep my eye out for that.
Or you are a benevolent god.
We'll see. All right, so
so what's more important here, the implacable magistrate or the Komei EG?
no,
I
I
think
want
both.
EG. I want EG, right? Because if I have guard duty EG is sick, right? Because that she just becomes a house with when she's honored, because she has 3 glory.
A mustache.
Oh wait, is it a girl or a man? I can't tell.
That's a Fu Manchu on her, right? Him?
Yeah, all right. Ikoma EG is a male, I think. All right.
I don't hate implacable magistrate here because it is almost impossible to defend against. You have to like actively do bad shit to the magistrate.
No, you just play. Wait, Tenerim didn't play anyone. Oh, he played magistrate. Okay. The magistrate can't defend. EG has a reaction also on defense, right? Like you just bring a brawler back. So Tenerim does do 3. qkieu bids 5 goes to 6, then steals. Travis saying it's a fantasy card game. You know if it's a girl unless it's a Matsu. Travis, it's actually easy to tell if it's a Matsu because every single character in the Matsu tribe is a female. One of my friends threw that knowledge upon me when I came to L5R. They're like, just so you know, everyone in Matsu is female. I'm like, oh, okay.
Correct. Like, I mean, lore-wise, right? Like, they have dudes.
Yeah, but all their warriors are female. It's like the female warriors in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Kyoshi warriors.
There's another analog even in this game. So, like, the Otaku family of the unicorn, they're like battle maidens. Like, it's like a hardcore family of chicks on huge horses.
Oh, okay.
They do have male Otaku families, but they are not allowed on the horses.
Oh, is that why Otaku infantry is not a cavalry character?
100% yes.
And Otaku Yumino, it has the creature type battle maiden, which is sick.
And that's like, you know, Matsus are a little bit of the same way. Like they're known for like having like, you know, really badass chicks, but there's like some dudes thrown in there here or there.
That's fair.
They're yeah.
All right, so we see Manipulator. He's just gonna go pick up the Fate. This is risky. Wait, this is really risky. You're doing fire. Your opponent is Keeper of Fire, so they can you could give them a Fate here.
Thought about that.
Maybe you just don't care.
Maybe you just don't care about the Fate. Like yeah, there's no keepers right now, so it's not the worst.
This is fine, right? He scoops up the Fate. He scoops the Fate up off of the firing, and if you give your opponent a Fate for 1 Fate while bowing their character, it's actually not the worst. And then if you win the conflict, it's actually good. You honor Shouju.
And break with a charge and a bonsai, both of which he is playing.
No, Tenerim has Censure. I guess if you have your 3rd edict, you could.
And so why do you buy? What's the point of buying Implacable Magistrate and putting 3 on it? Here.
Oh, we got guard duty. We got some duty.
I see.
This is why I like EG, right? Like EG with guard duty. How insane is that? Because EG.
Yeah.
EG with guard duty, you know, he becomes insane, right? He becomes a 4/6. What is Scorpion going to do against the 4/6 that can keep re-honoring itself?
Get a guy in play.
Yeah, and if you lose the political conflict, you get to bring a person back. In this case, it would be a brawler.
He doesn't have to be participating in that.
Yeah, it's just a reaction. Yeah, Spear Caller can bow Shouju with a brawler. That is correct. And qkieu does not have the Fate to play Fate Worse Than Death. I Can Swim is on right now, though. We have
if
we have
you're-
Twitch
if
chat
you're-
here arguing about male and female in cards now. Excellent. I'm glad my oh, Sashimono. If Tenerim has two mana Sashimono right here. Oh, how sick, how hype would that be? Oh, that's why you buy Implacable Magistrate with with 3 face.
Here's one thing I'm worried about. There's only 12 cards left in QQ's deck. We have not seen a single Way of the Scorpion played. So, oh my gosh, a pass.
All right.
Honestly,
So honor and Sashimono. There's no Rega. So QQ only has 1 Calling in Favors in his whole deck, and we know Tenerim has at least 1 Censure in his hand. All right, let's see it. Sashimono, hit me with it, please. Please, I need this, because then you can do a mill challenge with your, and you can bring Brawler out, and you can Bao Shouju, and then you can do a political challenge with your Magistrate. Oh, that's so sick. Please, I need this deck to work.
Sashimono admittedly would be pretty awesome here.
Yeah, come on, like, the card hasn't seen play since Core. Mostly for good reason, but I mean... Tenerim says, alright, let's see it. Sashimono, do it!
Oh, there it is!
Oh, okay. Boom! I love Tenerim. Tenerim is a good person. He always hangs out in the chat, and he plays this insane deck, and has always been a really fun person to talk to. Yes, Tenerim has a Censure in his hand, Grody. He has 2 in his deck, and he has 1 in his hand from an earlier policy debate.
It really does not look like he's going to be giving up the favor this turn.
Yeah, and he is protected from Calling in Favors here. His character is honored, so he's protected from I Can Swim, and he flips an Ujiaki next turn. We could have some real big things happening. So basically the Spirit Caller is going to get a Brawler who's going to Bao Shouju. So Tenerim could get 2 breaks this turn.
That's reasonable. I'll understand the 3 Fate on Implacable now. I mean, this is going to be the guy that he rides for the rest of this game.
No problem, Grody. Oh yeah, he's not listening. All right, so what? If you're QQ,
so
what do you
let's
do
look
here?
for outs for QQ are
Bonsai.
double for shame.
No, you just play Bonsai.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to like this problem of Sashimono creating a guy that's around that's going to wreck you in multiple provinces.
Oh, sure.
So you want to go for shame.
No, so if I get first shamed, once by if I'm Tenerim, I leave with favorable ground. And then I just let my opponent have the firing.
So assuming that Tenerim doesn't have any more ready for battles in his hand.
Oh, sure, right. Like he's only played 1 and he's got 10 cards. So there's a Bonsai actually. So there is the Bonsai. Do you care if you're Tenerim? Like your character's not bowing.
You just stick around. You just pass.
Like you don't care if this firing fires, right? Like Shouju, like you can use brawler plus stronghold plus fine katana to Bao Shouju.
Playing cards.
Oh, he plays the katana onto the magistrate. Wait, he needs more buffs. This isn't enough.
I would have just kept so you let this happen, right? And then you let the fire. Oh my god. Okay.
See ya. This is where you hit him with the CY at in chat. This is why you just see ya.
You know, if there was only one katana, I would have said leave it for the Lion's Pride
Yeah.
Brawler and then just let Shoju get honored. But like, sure, if you're just gonna do this, fine. It's fine. Whatever.
This implacable magistrate is a monster. Well, Travis, to be fair, one, the magistrate has to become dishonored somehow, and two, he has to be able to play around the censure that Tenerim has. All right. If you're Tenerim,
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see that that I can swim happening.
What ring do you pick here if you're Tenerim?
Probably just Earth. Fuck you, right?
Yeah, military Earth.
Void to like further to just make sure your implacable magistrate sticks around forever. Either one of those.
Well, if you do Void, you could potentially, if you're not afraid of Shoju, you could do potentially go for double Void with Satori, but that's really greedy in my opinion. I want to find Pilgrimage. I want to find Pilgrimage real quick. Because I think I can blow Pilgrimage up. Meditations is fine. That's why you got 3 Fade on that character.
He did hit Meditations. Picking Void here was correct, right? So,
well, no, you're just gonna bow Shoju. And you know QQ doesn't have Meek Informant and the Adept has been killed. So there's no conflict character that he can play. So I don't think Void was correct. I would have gone Earth, I think. Yeah, I would have gone Earth. This signifies to me that he wants to... Yeah, I don't know. Why water?
I think Void is still correct.
You're gonna get 2 conflicts, Tor. Your guy has Sashimono.
Here, just because there is an outside chance that your opponent has 2 Mirimoto's Furies in hand, and
yeah, the magistrate's not buying. Why does everyone want to do water? Who cares about unbuying the spirit color? I would rather get better advantage. I think water is better than Void. I think Earth is the best call, and then I think water.
So, a question for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you go Earth here.
Yeah.
Okay. Mirimoto's Furies to bow the implacable magistrate. Aren't you at that point in time happy that you're removing Void from the table?
No, I'm censuring the Mirimoto's Fury.
Get into Tori. So obviously his plan is to kill Shoju this turn,
yes.
and to not bow him.
I'm not sure I like that. Totori is not contributing right now either. Oh! You just pull your magistrate out now, mate. Oh no, she's not bowing. Who cares? Yeah. Defending with the magistrate is so risky against... You know your opponent has a first shame, and shows you activations. Like, I would not be wanting to defend my magistrate.
Magistrate stays as far the fuck away from defending as humanly possible.
So we see charge Nice here. Nice does not contribute.
Nice is not contributing.
Is he gonna shame the magistrate? So we see Stronghold being activated. Again, just buffing the magistrate. Totori doesn't contribute.
I'm not so sure I like Totori here. Just for like the double Void activation, it's fine. Hell, that would have been better if you were going Earth. But
well, so here's the thing. I like just bringing the Brawler, and the Brawler bows Shoju, and then you just do a political attack with your magistrate. You just political attack at Manicure Garden, and you have the favor. So we see the Fury, but Ready for Battle shows up. Yeah, if you have the
still has Ascension.
If you're ready for battle, you absolutely just do Earth first. You just do Earth, and then you just get a political conflict with your magistrate, and you bow Shoju with your Brawler. You get to go first next turn also.
In a pickle.
Yeah. So you just bow Shoju. The magistrate breaks Manicure Garden by herself with favor. I don't think that Scorpion can break anyway. It doesn't matter. Scorpion doesn't have enough political to break Ancestral Land. So if I'm QQ, I don't attack here. I defend and I try to kill the magistrate via Shoju. And if the magistrate doesn't attack, that's fine. That's fine with me. I save myself a break. What do you think about that?
I think getting the magistrate in front of Shoju in any political is like super diehard risky. Right?
Well, yeah.
Because
So what I'm saying is Shoju, if he attacks, you just let him go through. There's no way to there's no reason to risk the magistrate, right? And you know QQ's deck. QQ doesn't have enough political buffs by Shoju's self to get to 12. There's just no way. Even a court game puts him to 9, and he doesn't have any fans. And then if QQ passes his conflict opportunity, he should Tenerim should not attack.
a court game, a mixture of court games and Way of the Scorpion will kill him. QQ is attacking.
Okay, so Tenerim should not defend, in my opinion. If he doesn't want to take the unopposed, he should use favorable ground to move the Spirit Caller in.
He should just do nothing until QQ represents breaking, and then move the Implacable in with.
No, he can't break. He literally can't. Like we know the deck list. He doesn't have enough political. There's no political buffs to get to 12.
Correct. Just let it go.
Yeah, there's just actual no way. Yeah. So Tenerim loses an honor for not defending. Discard stand your ground at random. Who cares? He probably has another one in his hand. I don't like this attack by QQ. Now QQ suffers his third break. Tenerim is going first with this monstrous Implacable Magistrate. So you do air here, I guess. I would say air. Water doesn't matter because you're gonna get the favor anyway.
Yeah, I mean air is probably slightly better.
Well, water doesn't do anything, right? At least air gets you something. You can just air gain 2 and then draw 5 again. Rega, one thought is if you throw the Spirit Caller in there, you can get policy debated. So we see the air ring being contested. Does QQ have a policy debate still? I hate that. Sometimes the screw. Here we go. One policy debate.
Yes. He would have one still left in the deck.
Yeah, so we can see a policy debate. So that is an argument for not throwing the Spirit Caller into Shoju. You don't want to get policy debated.
If policy debate exists in his hand to not attack.
Yeah, Zergling. Shoju when Shoju enters a political conflict, nobody else enters that conflict. Nobody ever wants to stand in front of Shoju. He just shows up and he just starts killing people. I mean, that is...
It's actually not too hard to imagine Implacable Magistrate getting murdered by Shoju.
You can very easily murder him. We know he has it for shame.
Yeah.
He discards Mono Noari with Nice. He's going to have one more cycle with Nice. Yeah, that turn by Tenerim was so good. That turn was insane.
With favored Nice activation still up, I absolutely would not have attacked with Shoju. I just would have kept him back and then tried to cycle for the appropriate number of court games and Way of the Scorpions, which would have allowed Shoju to just kill the Magistrate.
Well, you just don't attack with the Magistrate if Shoju's standing, right? Like, the reason you don't attack with Shoju is it prevents your third break from happening. So you basically traded the Earth Ring for your third break.
In this position, I don't...
What is the stronghold? Do you run entrenched position?
I run entrenched. He's running rally.
Okay. Rally will be important here, right? Like the Sashimono won't be activated then.
I'm gonna throw a chat at it to flip it over. Like keep the gifted tactician around and pitch everything else. And oh wait, he can't.
He
just
can.
Pitch. Yeah, so just pitch everything.
You can just leave the favorable ground too, right? Like you just send in your guy and then you favorable ground out.
That works.
So Tenerim keeps favor, which is important for these censures. Let me check. I don't think he has any send home effects. He does not. Oh yeah. If Tenerim flips Ujiaki, that's gonna be it, right? Like it doesn't matter. If Tenerim flips Ujiaki, you just send everyone but the Magistrate into a conflict, and then you just Ujiaki flip. So we see Honor General Miya Satoshi. So you just buy General. I think you just buy General. Yeah, General's sick here, right? Because he honors himself with the Magistrate.
Works. I would just general in on political first, and then just retract them.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I Mystic if you decide to buy it for whatever reason. People buy Maya Mystics. Probably not.
Maybe he's gonna buy Miya Satoshi here to
Would also be cool.
To maybe flip a Miya Satoshi dupe. He's already hit the Miya Mystic, so he doesn't have to worry about hitting it.
Anything else he needs to buy from his hand to be in a better position? I think probably Maya Satoshi with an honor on it, or a fate on it is.
So one thing to note is the Soshi Illusionist can remove the honored status from the Honored General. qkieu has played 2 Fate Worse Than Deaths. He does have a 3rd Fate Worse Than Death still. Fate Worse Than Death on this Implacable Magistrate is what he needs.
Yeah.
He needs Tenerim not to have both of the censures. Because he gets Fate Worse Than Death and then Edict the Censure, and that would give him the opportunity to have a chance. Right, that's the line. That's the line that you have, right? You have to Fate Worse Than Death the Magistrate and then Edict the Censure and hope your opponent doesn't have the 2nd Censure. Both players.
You definitely have to be in the aggressive position when you get into the counter spell war and hope that he only has 1.
Both players should bid 5 here. Tenerim doesn't activate Miya Satoshi. I guess he wanted the Passing Fate. Both players bid 5. qkieu's probably going to go 6 here. qkieu only has 3 cards in his conflict deck also, just of note.
I'm actually fine with not Manipulator there, just to leave Manipulator up for any policy debates
So
that may come.
You just send one of your characters in on water to grab the fate, and then you favorable ground out. If you could do water, right? You could just send your guy in on water, and then if your opponent doesn't defend, you could just bow their guy.
Political with that attack, or do you do military?
You do political, because if he rallies to military, you can favorable ground your Implacable Magistrate in. So in that case, I like political general. Political general. If it gets swapped, you win. So he can't be swapped, and so general still has 3. I guess political general is susceptible to a dishonor effect. Oh, he's just sending both his guys in on political. Interesting. He's just threatening. I actually like this. I think this is fine too.
I don't think this is incorrect.
Right, this actually threatens a break, and it makes qkieu play cards. Political water. Yep, water is correct.
Oh, qkieu going in the tank here, slow playing.
Jesus. qkieu in the tank again. Anyone surprised?
He's gonna be so cross with us if he watches this video. Oh, you sort of just have to defend with both guys.
Yeah, I agree.
The position that you're in. Ridiculous.
Soto, what movie are you gonna go see? I hope it's Black Panther, because that movie was so good. I saw Black Panther Thursday night, the day before it released. It was so good. Yeah, all right, yeah, Soto, it's legit, lives up to the hype for sure.
Hey, where are you ranking it?
In terms of Marvel movies or just like movies?
Marvel movies.
Probably like right under Civil War. I think Civil War is my favorite one.
Okay. I like Winter Soldier is my favorite.
Yeah,
I like
Winter Soldier is really good too. It's probably behind Winter Soldier and Civil War then. Like definitely top 3. Yeah. For sure top 3. It was really, really well done.
I think we should see a block with both characters here.
I would agree.
I'm sure qkieu is maybe trying to decide
block,
whether...
So you can block with just Manipulator. So if you just block with Manipulator, you can then remove the honored status with the Illusionist, and then you can first Shame, and that doesn't break.
Find a way for him to not win the Water Ring, right? If you just block with one guy, you have to be pretty secure in the fact that they're not going to get the Water Ring. Just block with both.
I personally hate the time limit structure in this game, so I honestly don't care. I personally hate how the time limit setup is in this game. And because the game is still so new, there is no set standard on what solo play is. Obviously, both these players have taken a long time. I think in a paper tournament, I would have asked both these players to make decisions sooner, but it's not paper, and so I personally don't see a problem. I think allowing games to go to conclusion leads to some very exciting gameplay that you would not normally see. So we see Court Games dishonoring Satoshi. Probably he doesn't defend with a courtier. He has no courtier in this conflict.
Okay, so yeah, so this is, well, there's a Court Games there. I wonder if we will finally see a Way of the Scorpion in this battle.
So there's the counter Court Games. Rally is breaking right now, so he's probably going to remove the honor general status. That's the first thing you can do to stop the break, right? Then you're only up by 3. That doesn't cost you a card.
But there is that if he wants to win this turn, then he has to charge Yanako in at the same time, have enough fate to fate worse than death the implacable magistrate.
Travis, that's not possible because he only has two Way of the Scorpions.
I think because we're seeing a use of card here instead of fate. So I think that he has both a fate worse than death and a charge in his hand. He wants to be able to initiate a military on the stronghold, fate worse than death the implacable, and then charge in the Yanako.
He has to have Edict too, because we know that Tenerim has at least one center.
That's true. And then he also needs a charge to finish it off. He needs all those things to happen, and he also needs to not lose this challenge.
He could have a second Kachiko, right? Yeah, he could have the second Kachiko also.
That doesn't help him win the game.
Yeah, he can't get enough political to break Ancestral, so he has to break on Mill. I would be fine with a 90-minute time limit. The problem is that you don't have judges in these games for slow play. Like I can ask my opponent to play faster over as much as I want, but how do I enforce this, right? Especially in league games and earlier cup matches that aren't streamed, right?
Well, the enforcement is an in client clock, you know, like a Moto clock.
Sure. We don't have that yet though, right? Like we're already super happy right now. Or I'm super happy that I even have this platform to play on, right? Like I don't even have a paper scene in my area. Where, like literally without this platform, I can't play the game. So I'm not going to be a beggar and a chooser here. I'm totally happy with just having this.
Where because they've already talked about their tinkering around with the functionality of an in-game clock.
Yeah, they're trying stuff. They're definitely trying it.
Are you opposed to using it as part of like evolving the tournament structure of online games.
I mean, if we could get chess cocks, I would be fine with doing it 90-minute, 45 minutes to both players. I would be okay with that. I'm not against time play because I play very quickly, so it's strictly a benefit for me.
I mean, like, you know, and in a style of decks, right?
Oh yeah. Disconnects also. You need to be able to pause the clocks if someone disconnects, stuff like that. There is stuff that you have to worry about.
Like let's take the Scorpion deck for instance. You know, like it's a real problem for a lot of people to play this deck and they get wins that aren't timed. Like, rather egotistically, I can say I was able to do it, and also in an paper format, you know, able to do it like in IRL.
Yeah.
But not everyone is going to be able to pilot, you know, heavy control decks like that in the amount of time that they have.
This game has been going. So I've been live for an hour and 50 minutes. I would say about 15 minutes of that has been dead time. So I would say the game's been going on for about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. All right. So see, enjoy the movie. You will enjoy it. Nothing is happening. The players are taking a little bit of time. Again, it's not my place to say anything. I do have Rega in the chat. If Rega wants to say something, it's up to him. But back to my point on slow play, like yeah, that was a joke though, Rega. Like so as a caster, it's not for me to make rulings. I'm currently in casting mode, not admin mode. So if I did need an admin ruling, I would ask for another admin to come in and say something. So we see a for shame bowing the illusionist. Interesting that he chooses to bow instead of dishonor. Or why do you think he chose to bow? So he needs more cards. He needs to play cards now. So this is where not using your illusionist and using the Way of the Scorpion can come back to bite you, because you only have 2 Way of the Scorpions.
What tried to get played there? It was canceled by a censure.
Yeah. Okay. So, wait. Oh, he's debating the general. Yeah, that's fair. So that sucks that he has to censure. He has to censure policy debate. Hopefully he has a second censure. Otherwise, this magistrate's going to get fate worse than death.
Almost assuredly.
Gertie, he's breaking right now. You don't have to pull anything out. You're breaking.
The manipulator doesn't stop the break.
Yeah, because for some reason he chose to bow.
Fully understand the bow there.
Gertie, it was for shame. Yeah. Rega with the correct nomenclature on for shame. Gotta put that exclamation point in there. I remember I did my deck lists for PAX, and I wrote all the punctuation, and Palumbo saw my list, and he's like, man, good for you putting the exclamation point in bonsai. Cause I'm from, so in Magic the deck reg like restrictions were insane. If you like misspelled something in the old days, like the Wild West, if you misspelled something or like you did something else, you would just get a game loss because it's not the right card. It was really aggressive. So I always try and make sure I just copy it exactly from the card. Yeah, exactly. Reagan knows from back in the day. Back in the day, before they became more lax about the rules, it was really cutthroat. Like deck reg errors were it's such an easy way to get game losses. It was so bad. So there's the second Way of the Scorpion. Dishonors the general. So now Rally is not. Oh no, Rally is still breaking because the Scorpion Stronghold is only one. is happening? Why do you dishonor the general instead of Mia Satoshi? The general only loses 1 stat, whereas Mia Satoshi loses 2.
Oh yeah, that is a mistake.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Take back.
Yeah. This is where you hit him. Wait, wait. Can I take that back? Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Now do we see? Do you mind? Oh no. Nope. I don't mind. Okay. I thought Tenerim immediately. If you're Tenerim here, you hit him with the no sir. You just no sir him real quick. Should have played correctly the first time.
That's insane.
He doesn't have to schmooze, but one, this match is streamed, and two, he would definitely become a social pariah within the community. he would definitely become a social pariah if he no-sirred him there. Simcoff hits me with. I think qkieu is not taking enough time on his turns. He's making these mistakes. Holy crap. Alright, so Tenerim passes. He's just gonna bow the manipulator. Oh, okay, wait. Let's see. Thinking. Very hard. See, I don't know, maybe this is just the way I play the game, but I don't think it's you should be taking this many decisions, right? Like, you should already have thought of these lines. Like, what if my opponent dishonors a character? What am I going to do? You only have a certain number of cards, and you've had a lot of dead time. Like, nobody's thinking when it's not their turn. That's, like, the big issue. Yeah.
Like, in real life, if I were playing against either opponent here, I'd be like, I need you to make a decision, sir.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's pretty much along the exact same lines of what I say when my opponent is playing slowly. I say, I need you to make a play. And then if they still don't, then that's when I would call a judge. But I mean, I always try and prompt my opponent with, I need you to make a play, and I try and say that, you know, after a decent amount of time, or after giving them some time. I don't expect people to match my pace of play, but I do expect them to play quickly. Yeah, Fiery, so you definitely missed a lot, but you also didn't miss a lot.
At least not in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, there's been a lot of just nothing. Tenerim says, ideally, I want Fate, Edict, Fury at the bottom. I mean, that is ideal. Yeah.
Pretty good.
You could technically. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna
say if this Implacable Magistrate gets Fate worse than death, and we go into next round, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, I think qkieu might actually die from honor. He might die from his conflict deck running out of cards.
Tenerim has managed to keep 12 cards in his conflict deck.
He has 45 cards in his deck. He has 45. That's how he's got so many more cards. He's got 5 extra cards in his deck.
Lose.
Travis says that would take 3 more turns. Please no.
About L5R today. So, like, last game we learned that what is it? Along the river gold.
Yeah, along the river gold. Card is sick.
We learned that card is OP restrict, and now we're learning that 45 cards is in fact correct in every scenario. These are things that I never knew, so pretty great.
Finger of Jade being... Oh, he's going to play Finger of Jade on Implacable Magistrate. I'm assuming qkieu has the calling in favors at this point, though.
It just makes it to where qkieu can't actually win this turn. Well, he couldn't anyway because he's not going to have a character to attack in with.
Yeah.
finish dicking around with the online client, it can get back to doing its job.
No, Reggie, you're just calling in favors onto the illusionist. Then you can still edict. You can still edict to the manipulator.
This conflict has easily gone on much longer than I thought it was going to whenever it began.
Wait, he doesn't use this favorable ground to leave.
He doesn't want to endanger the water activation.
Wait, I think Tenerim had an action here. Yeah, I think because of the way the manual stuff worked, Tenerim had an action. I think you went to favorable ground. I mean, if you want a favorable ground, it kind of does matter. What is happening here?
Yeah, there you go. Get involved.
Alright. Tenerim decides he doesn't want to use favorable ground. He's off it. Alright, qkieu passes his conflict. Tenerim hasn't seen a single keeper this game, right? No keepers.
qkieu would have been in a much better spot. I think his current board position traces back to attacking with Shoju last turn. And I think that's
not attacking with Shoju. He didn't. Or no, you're right. He did attack with Shoju. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, so what are qkieu's outs, right? So
Fate worse. He needs fate worse than death, or he needs calling in favors plus fate worse than death. Sorry.
And forged edict possibly, right?
Yeah, to a player on center. So he would need all three of those cards, which is reasonable for him to have. So Tenerim says, I think. Funny thing is, I think what I'm about to do is correct here. I think he might pass the conflict opportunity, which I think is not correct.
Oh my god. Please attack. Please attack.
Like, just letting your opponent see the rest of their cards is not what you want. Is he gonna attack the face down province? Is he gonna attack pilgrimage? Because he doesn't want to get furied? That's also insane. I don't know what's happening. No, Rega, he can have Miyamoto's Fury. He can have Miyamoto's Fury, Fate Worse Than Death, and Edict.
It's probably part of why he really did not want to use the Soci-Illusionist there.
Yeah, right? That gives you just enough faith to do it all. Firesa, if you run out of Dynasty or Conflict cards when you are forced to draw or use one of them, you immediately lose 5 honor. You immediately lose 5 honor. Which is actually one of the least punishing effects I've seen in card games. In every other card game I've played, when you cannot draw, you just lose. Unless you have Lab Maniac, then you win.
Can't forget about those alternative win conditions.
Yeah, Lab Maniac's sick. Alright, so probably Earth Ring here, right? Yep, Earth is being contested. Military, Earth. QQ does not defend. Alright, we're going to see a lot of cards being played. So there's the calling in favors. This should not actually go on. Oh, wait, it does go onto the guy. It's attached to a character you control, but first you gain control of the Finger of Jade, so then you can move it. There's the calling in favors.
Is this signifying that he doesn't have the censure?
Yes, but I mean, I guess if I have censure, I censure the fate worse than death anyway, right? Because that costs the most fate. Why do you leave though, Rega? The fate worse than death isn't going anywhere. Like, he still has the fate worse than death. He like, by leaving, you still. I mean, you could leave if you want. It's not unreasonable. You get to keep favor. Or you're gonna get favor no matter what.
No, you could leave here, and that wouldn't be in. That could potentially not be incorrect. Or just YOLO it.
It just gives Q. So the thing is, QQ is gonna lose you knockout. Yeah, there's fate worse than death. Yeah, like QQ has no fate now, right? Like, I mean, it sucks, but QQ has no fate. Both players can't draw, or you can draw cards if you're Tenerim, but QQ cannot draw cards. Ready for battle, but then we see an edict. Oh, ready for battle would have been sick, right? So you ready for battle and then use your favorable round to go back in. But then you did have the edict.
Oh wow.
He has nothing. QQ's gonna go down to 2 honor. I think what we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see QQ lose via conflict deck. I'm just calling this now. Or we're just gonna see Ujiaki show up. If we see Ujiaki, that's good. I think that'll also be game.
Yeah, I mean, the cards that he has in his dynasty, like, there's no reason to keep him in favorable ground here. Ujiaki would be like the game winner.
Yeah, if the ready for battle results Sandy, then the ready for battle wins in the game there. Oh yeah. Well, no, Travis, he was setting up the favorable ground for the ready for battle play. Zero Cloud the Mines. There will be no answer to Ujiaki if he shows up, which he should. Yep, discards both. Just digging. You just dig for Ujiaki here. But it's another implacable magistrate. Double keeper also. This is a good flop for QQ though. He hits Yoga Heroi.
QQ's gonna have a hard time not dying to Dishonor though, right?
Yeah. I think you just one bid every turn is Lion, and then QQ is gonna die to conflict discard.
Be back in 2 minutes, guys.
Rager, why does he need to favorable ground the magistrate out? He has to. It's gonna, like, the fate worse than death is always gonna be there, and then by doing it this way, you force your opponent to waste the fate. Like, he now is down to 7 fate. No, Rega, the line he took wins him the game if he doesn't have the edict. The line he took wins him the game. You ready for battle to stand, and then you move back in with favorable ground to break. The line he took was perfectly fine. But now I do think the correct line is to stall. Oh yeah, sorry Pitsu. The game has been going on for 2 hours, and my hands are getting cold. So I'm just moving. I was just shuffling my stack of lands. Yes, I have a stack of lands that I sit at my desk with and shuffle. That's how you know. That's how you know that that I am a true card player. Yeah, I have a stack of old draft lands that I have sleeved on my desk that I'm just shuffling right now. Oh sure, yeah, I just have infinite magic cards, right? So I just shuffle magic cards. Yeah. Well, it's just hand movement, right, Pitsu? Like it just gives me it just gives me a chance to move my hands. It's a little bit easier when I'm playing. Yeah, definitely better than fidget spinners. I agree. Shuffling cards is the OG fidget spinner. All right, so qkieu is going to go to the bathroom. Reasonable, very reasonable that someone would need to go to the bathroom.
And I'm back, and we're not in the conflict phase yet.
No, qkieu had to go to the bathroom, and then so I'm actually gonna since you're back, I'm gonna take this opportunity to go to the bathroom.
See one apiece. Oh, we see two. Rather aggressive on qkieu's part. I wonder what he's digging for that he doesn't already have in his hand. It just sort of shortens his clock to not die. Deck. Has a charge left in his hand. I don't think it would be outrageous to see an attack here to like maybe charge in Hirue and pull in Matu Berserker or Implacable Magistrate. I think that qkieu is going to have is that either one of these characters can take in there. How did Mirimoto's Fury get moved into the discard pile? This card, I guess he basically just showed he has a is something there? Why did the Mirimoto's Fury get moved into the discard pile? So we're going to need Mind's Desire back on here because a whole slew of really weird things just happen with qkieu's conflict deck. Very bizarre. Chat. Any reason why Fury was moved to the discard pile? So that has to be like a technical error there with Jigoku. Then he also drew a card out of his Fate deck.
I see him. Alright, I've returned. I see a Miyamoto's Fury in the graveyard.
Here's a bunch of really weird things that just happened, all before conflicts, okay? So qkieu was moving his hand around, and he inadvertently moved Fury into his discard pile. Then he clicked on Mono no Owari, playing it without intending to play it, and so took that back, added Fate back onto the characters, and then unintentionally drew a card out of his conflict deck, and then put it back. So there's been, like, a whole lot of really, like...
I have Riga in the chat here. This feels like... Yeah, Riga, come talk to me. Come talk to me in the admin chat.
The problem is the conflict card.
This is a DQ, right? Like if anyone did this, yeah. If anyone, okay. One sec, stream. I'm not gonna talk about this. I'm gonna chat with Rega in the admin chat. Alright, folks, so the ruling is that we are going to have to disqualify qkieu for this infraction. While it is unfortunate this situation happens, we do need, like, rules do need to be like this. You can't gain information like this and then have it go through.
It's the card that he drew off of the conflict deck from the Mono no Owari that's the problem, right? If you unintentionally draw a card in almost any card game, that's a game loss.
It's a warning in Magic now, but it's a very strict.
He can just choose to play the Mono no Owari. Would you guys be fine with that?
What?
The Mono no Owari?
What? I still think it's a DQ, regardless of like letting people like do other things to make it happen. Mostly because I don't want people to do these type of actions and then try and find a way out of it, right? Like
the conflict deck being drawn was off of Mono no Owari.
Okay.
So if there was a judge present, then he never would have been able to take it back, right? The Mono no Owari just gets played, he draws the card, that's all due to card effects, right? So then now he's just in a position where he played Mono no Owari legally, and that's what happens.
So, okay, one sec. qkieu's saying that's fine. Let me see what Rega's saying. Yeah, so Rega's saying he didn't draw the card from Mono no Owari. The Fury was discarded somehow first. Yeah, we're just gonna go with the DQ either way. I understand that chat doesn't want to see this happen that way, but we're gonna just stand.
The Fury going into the discard isn't the problem. It's the card drawn off of Mono no Owari.
It's just seeing extra cards, and it's at this point I think it has become too messy. Like the infraction is looking at extra cards. All right, so that is going to. Yeah, that's up to the players, if they want to play it out. But it is what it is. I do apologize to everyone viewing who wanted to see the actual finish of the game. I do apologize to all of the viewers. You know, I do feel bad for qkieu, but in any card game I've ever played, you know, looking at extra cards, all that stuff it's all very bad. You never, like, it's just all bad infractions.
If qkieu had not attempted to take back the Mono no Aware, then we just would have been in a board state where he played Mono no Aware and drew the last card in his deck.
Yeah, agreed.
That would have been fine.
But Tenerim has 5. Tenerim has favored mounts in his hand. I don't know. It's tough. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. We have been casting for quite some time. I might have a special show match for you guys, the draft match. Not sure if that's still going to happen because this game went for so long. But stay tuned. I'll post in the Discord if something happens. Thanks again, folks.
Here, guys.